Hello, this is a video about why I hate you, I guess, even though I don't really know anything about you specifically. I probably don't like you. I mean, or I do, I'm not even sure. You could be someone watching this that I honestly think is a little bit chill or whatever. But like, honestly, humanity though, it's garbage. And I don't know, I just want to talk a little bit about like why I feel that way. What inspired this video was, a lot of people talking about how people with narcissistic personality disorder have like essentially just a stick up their ass, I guess, like they're energy vampires and whatnot. And sure, I guess from that perspective, I can see why. But you know what? I feel like I've never really seen a video of somebody talking about it the other way around. Because, okay, I'm not downplaying anybody with their fucking narcissistic abuse or whatever the fuck people want to call it these days. I've seen some stuff about how, oh, you shouldn't call it narcissistic abuse because abuse isn't just limited to like personality disorders and like whatnot. But I mean, I'm not gonna get too much into that because I'm gonna be talking about, yeah, I guess the other end of it. Because, I mean, I don't think enough people know that we're also drained by other people's energy as well. Like, it's a two-way street, you know? Like, believe it or not, I'm not necessarily going out of my way to just like ruin your day or like put you in a bad mood. But high frequency, I mean, I just can't, I just don't understand it. Like, what are you so excited about? Like, you meet some people and they have like such excitable personalities and it's like they force you to look at them because, oh, they think they have something so interesting to say. Like, you're probably watching this video and thinking, oh wow, this is just a guy complaining about, I don't know, trivial shit or like whatever. Well, you know what? Anything that you can feel about me is most likely what I'll feel about you. You know how much energy it takes to exert, like talking to people or even just, having to say shit that they think they're entitled to hear from you? Because like if you saw my like other video before about why I don't like most conversations because, oh my gosh, people are such attention seekers and they need to be validated in some form or another. I actually, I'm not sure if I spoke about the whole like validation part. Well, I mean, we can sort of talk about it like that, I guess, in like reference to the, NPD framework here that's going on. And yeah, okay, with this video, I'm basically telling the world now, well, not essentially the world, but like, anyone who cared enough to like, click on my video that yes, I am a diagnosed narcissist. And I don't know, even today in particular, I just felt drained and like, I don't know, like so fucking tired. Like, you don't understand. Like how much energy it takes to conceal, like, I don't know, just being, even though you feel a sense of like, okay, who cares, or like why, or I don't know. Cause I mean, like, sure, it might sound petty, it might sound like, absolutely ridiculous and stuff, but it's like, in a way, it puts me in a bad mood when other people are like happy, to be honest. Like, I'm not saying I go around fucking like shooting anybody that smiles or something like that, but like, geez, like the overt display that comes with being happy, I just find it so like extra a lot of times. Or maybe it's because I don't fully understand it and that's my issue. But I mean, okay, yeah, I really want to paint a picture here on, I guess, how it looks on like the narcissist's end. Like, I don't know, even a lot of times general kindness, I have like a tendency to think about like, oh, did they really mean that or not? Or like, oh, does somebody actually care about me? Do they want to help me? And like all that stuff. And you could be genuine, but like to me, I wouldn't even know the difference, to be honest. Because I always feel like somebody that's like extending out to like, help me or like offer support, it's almost like they're fucking pitying me. And I don't want that. Like, it makes me think that if they can go out of their way and be like, oh, what's wrong? How can I help you? This and this and that. They must have not that many problems to worry about if they think they can come here to me with their savior complex and be like, oh, how can I help you out? How can I don't know, fix a problem that you must be too stupid to handle? Because like you're just meant to be a victim that's fucking trampled on and stomped or whatever. And it may or may not be true, but like, okay, I'm not a fucking mind reader, so I don't know when someone's like helping me out in a nice or sort of like genuine way. But like, I can't imagine that if somebody helps me out, there's not gonna be some sort of like, let's say, thing that'll come to like bite me in the ass. Because I can't imagine living in a world where everyone can just, truly be happy. Like, any joy is always at the expense of like someone else. Like, oh, if you have privileges in, let's say, food, money, or all those kind of things that just make your life generally better than someone else. Oh, you have a functioning fucking car, somebody has to get theirs fixed by a mechanic, like, whatever. Like there's always a sort of like on top, down below, like thing that's constantly happening within the world. And these people that go like on top, looking at people that are down, be like, oh, let me do something for you. Let me like, and then it's just like, or let me bring you up here, as if like you're a fucking like, I don't know, thing to be pitied, essentially. Like, I can't fucking stand it. But then again, I know I would also hypothetically like to be on top. If I was the one winning, I could look at people as like, the fucking inferiors or some shit, because at least like I would know that I have like more control. I would know that like somebody else is losing. But then in a way, it doesn't even really make me feel better, because it just makes me realize even more that the world is still a piece of trash. So it's like, I can be the victim or I can be the oppressor. There's no other way around it. I can't think about how else it's supposed to go. And I would feel the same way about you. Either like you're the victim, or you're being like, you're making somebody else like your victim. Because even something as simple as your breakfast in the morning is literally food going down through you that no one else is going to be able to eat, because, oh, you got it for yourself now. And I don't know, I work pretty selfishly, admittedly, or okay, a bit cynical, but I mean, like, I can't imagine anyone truly being selfless. Like, it's like this world is nothing but like competition. So when I just see people and they think, oh, we can get along, oh, we can do this, oh, we can, like, I don't know, something about it never truly feels like genuine to me. Like, ideally, I would like to think that, okay, sure, I develop relationships in my life where it's like, oh, positive friendships, positive this and this and that. And I mean, I am trying to be a bit more self-aware. I guess, that's the best thing like anybody could like essentially do. I know I shouldn't necessarily go out of my way to like pick fights with like people or something, but it's just like, I don't know, why do they expect you to take them at like face value? Like especially if like, I don't even fucking know you and all that shit, and let's say we're like, just getting to know each other. I'm like, there is a bit of an impulse where hypothetically, maybe I would want to do some like fucked shit, say things that are like out of pocket just to see like how you can react. Because, oh, okay. The thing about unconditional love is essentially what stumps me. Like, I'm not even gonna go on the basis on whether I think, oh, is love real, is it not, whatever, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But I mean, like, okay, a lot of people, I guess in some way, idealize or have some sort of like narrative where, oh, yeah, I'll always be here for you. I'll always do this. I'll always, do that. Like, you can trust me, blah, 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 and like all that things. But I mean, like, it's not true. Or if you believe it is, I mean, I would like to know how. I mean, is everything not truly transactional? So I think like people attempting to just show me genuine kindness or trying to like help out like other people, I'm just like, they have some sort of agenda. I don't understand how something is just like a nice act is just like, nice simply for the sake of it. So every single time I'm surrounded by people, there's just a bitterness. There's just like a sense of disgust. And it's like, it doesn't help whether I like look within myself, I don't know, just to feel better, be within my own resolve, whatever, however the fuck I should have said that, or it's like who I can like seek out to. I'm not trying to like discard the relationships I have right now. I mean, okay, I said I'm making this video because I don't know, I just want like, okay, because like if we truly can see people as human as they genuinely are, then like, okay, I don't know, I guess I thought I would like to help. But then based on all the things that I've said, which I genuinely do think about not understanding what is or isn't like genuine, I'm just like, is this just to feed my ego? Like, am I hoping that like somebody out there with NPD watches this as well, and it's like, oh yeah, I get what he's saying or something like that, and I'm just like, does that like stroke my ego? Because like, I don't know. I would like to look into myself and think, oh, maybe there is like genuine kindness, just like maybe there are people out there that also have like genuine kindness that they just want to like show to people. But it's like, I know the world works on this like cause and effect basis, or at least like, oh, where is this going? Where it's like, if somebody does this, how does it interact with this? And it's like, oh, there's always social dynamics at play. So I'm just like, oh, who holds the power? Who holds the most influence? Who holds the this and this and that? So it's like to live in the world, people expect you to just like be in this like delusion. And then like, okay, sure, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've called myself bitter here already and like all that stuff, but I'm just like, I think I'm only bitter at this point. Like if I'm explaining it from like my point of view and like, excusing and like, justifying myself here because I get, these are the shoes I wear, and I guess this is how I'm trying to justify my own being as well as like anybody else. I'm only seen as bitter, hypothetically, because like other people just live in their fucking delusion, or they don't think about things all the time, like how, I don't know, hierarchies are like influencing and like affecting everything. Like if you like bring it to the attention to like a lot of people, like, oh, you're short on the ladder and so many people have like more things than you, blah, 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 all this stuff. And then they accuse you of being like envious or something. Well, I mean, I guess it's not an accusation. I am envious, I guess. I mean, like, okay, you like you're not, like if we're supposed to just go through this entire life, like I guess like wanting something better, or, if we're meant to like, I don't know, like progress and like do like more like for ourselves, then I'm just like, in a way, how are we not always envious like 24/7? Like, am I the only one that's called bitter because I'm more open about it than like a lot of people? Like, I am such in genuinely a bad mood most of the time just because I see all this like fighting that happens constantly. Like even if there isn't, you can like expect it next because like, oh, life is about ups and downs apparently, right? But I mean, like, where's the up? Like, sure, when you go up, let's just say, like, let's say in terms of like the hierarchy, you can triumph and you can feel, I don't know, some sort of like conquering, some sort of like, I don't know, like, oh, okay, you did it. But then it's like, I can achieve my happiness if other people are like below me. So at least maybe even then still on a superficial level, happiness feels fake because all it felt like was survival of the fittest, essentially, or maybe even like natural selection at work at like for the most part. So even when I have an idea that I'm like on the top, I still genuinely don't feel happy because like I never think of myself as like a bad person, quote unquote, because I always think that it's like the world is controlling me to like, act this way. Because like, if I don't like seize the opportunity, let's just say, I guess I'm talking about manipulation here. I don't know. It's like bad taking advantage of somebody or like whatever. I mean, I don't know. I don't really take advantage of somebody. It's more just like, okay, even in something as like simplistic as like an argument, if I can still weasel my way around it, if I can still play devil's advocate, if I can still like, basically anything to like get the lead, like why wouldn't I? Because structures are constantly changing. I might not be super rich, most people might not be like super rich, but even in like our interpersonal relationships, it's like, do people not keep tabs of it? I feel like I would like to think that everyone does, but maybe it's just like a projection and most people just don't want to like admit it or something. But it's like, in a relationship between two people, there's always a power exchange, like, you know, at play. Even if it's not something negative, it's like, if someone in that on that particular day is like, you know, giving all the ideas of what, you know, both of you should like do, then they hold the influence. Like, you're still complying to them, you're still submitting to them. And sure, it's not always a bad thing. Maybe some people give you like good ideas and like stuff like that. But then it's like, the way I see it, people have a cognitive dissonance when, like, you know, you speak openly about this, or, you know, you question them more about like, okay, why do you want me to feel happy? Why do you want me to like do this? I'm like, where does it really come from? Because I'm just like, is it your choice? Because like, even if you say humans are hardwired to like care for each other, you know, empathy and like whatnot, then is that just something we're forced to technically do? Like, well, I mean, because like, I feel like you can think about it like, you know, all the way around. Like, whether you have empathy or like you don't have empathy, it's just like, we were coded in ways that weren't even like our choice. And I guess this is essentially where all this like conflict come from. But I'm just like, okay, when people try to act like they're so empathetic, like they're so sympathetic, I'm just like, that's a lie. At least in the grand scheme of things, it might as well be like a lie. Because like, okay, take like the trolley problem, for example. I'm sure most people probably wouldn't have to like realistically be in a situation like that. But like, you know, yeah, plenty of like thought experiments like there. Like, cause like, I know people would like to push the narrative that like, oh, they care about everybody, or like, you know, society would like to, you know, place a community, a country, a town, a village, or whatever, of like, you know, people that are, you know, there for each other, I guess. Cause again, there's always an idea, or like, there's an idea of a world peace, I guess. I don't know. But, what was I gonna say? Oh, right, yeah. But then, you know, if you ask people these things that they wouldn't even really think about, to be honest, like, oh, like the trolley problem stuff, they'll just fucking like glitch. Cause I'd be like, okay, like, I don't know, just like a simple example. What if like you had to choose between the death of someone you care about or the death of somebody that you don't care about? Like, sure, I know idealistically you wouldn't want either people to die, let's say, but like hypothetically, I'm gonna imagine you'd probably lean and have a proclivity to like, you know, the person that like you care about, because the person that you care about is like, you know, perceived as like, you know, your teammate. They're supposed to be there for you. You're supposed to be there for them and all that stuff. So like, it's literally just projection. All of it is just projection to like, I don't know, feel like a good person. And then people think that like, oh, you're bitter if you confront them at their face that like, oh, you just want to feel like a good person, because they think you're full of like hate. They think you're like full of like malice or something. But I'm just like, nah, that's what you're doing. And I feel like the fact that like you can't even think about it further than just, oh, I'm just nice just for the sake of being nice, or like, I'm your friend, that's what I'm supposed to do. And I'm just like, okay, that's fine. You know, if you're looking after me, actually, okay, like I do appreciate it. Like, okay, I could hypothetically be petty in that moment, but I mean, I would like to think that in some way I will find a way to like actually appreciate it. Hopefully. I mean, I don't even fucking know, because like, how I think about this is always so conflicted. Like, is an idea of world peace nice, or just like a kinder, more positive world? Yeah, of course it is. If we can live in a fucking fairy tale fantasy, yes, it'd probably be nicer than this like bullshit piece of shit world that like we're constantly like going through. But then, is there such a thing as natural selection? Yeah, I think so. Some like a lot of situations where people, you know, sacrifice others just for the benefit of themselves, or, you know, what suited them. It's like, oh, I'm gonna protect you from this like other person because I hold and project my importance of a human being onto you compared to like this other person. And it's all just arbitrary. I feel like every single day I live my life, I'm in this like moral dilemma. And like most people don't even have to think about it because like, okay, sure. Most people think most people are good because most people share the same values. Like, oh, if you live somewhere, like what can you attribute to a lot of people's morality? Oh, like their politics. If you're in like a, let's say, Republican place and you just, spout like Republican talking points, yeah, most people are going to agree with that. If you're like in a more like liberal sort of place and you spout like, liberal talking points, then like, yeah, everybody's just going to do like their self-confirmation bias. So it doesn't even like genuinely answer like what is, good or bad. So every single time I interact with people, I never know if I actually reacted appropriately. I don't know if I did more than I was supposed to do. I don't know if I appreciated enough. I don't know if I whatever. Dude, I just don't know, man. Because like all of this is just like random roll like of the dice. And I'm just like, is it like not exhausting for anyone else? Because like for me, it genuinely is so exhausting. Like I don't really feel things genuinely, or at least I have a harder time putting them into words, I guess. But what I do genuinely know is that I'm exhausted as fuck. I don't even know if anything I'm saying here actually makes like a whole lot of sense, because I was already even talking about this earlier with my girlfriend. So I feel like a lot of the things that I told her were already articulated in somewhat of like a better fashion, but I mean, I was only talking about it because I said I wanted to make a video about it, so I'm just like, okay, here it is. And I feel like I must have gone all over the place. I don't actually know if I painted as good as I could like an idea as to like, okay, yeah, why do narcissists seem so bitter? Why do they seem so like I don't know, like such haters or something? And like, I'll just say, yeah, it has a whole lot to do typically with like, yeah, like hierarchical thinking. Because like, if you can like strut in here with like all this like energy, that drains me. Or if like that reminds me more of like the hollowness and the emptiness that I feel inside, and oh, how much better you're doing. Whether within that's from your own mental well-being, because like if you're like a, let's say, healthy person, you have like a better sense of identity to yourself, then I wish I could be that comfortable, Like maybe if I was more of somebody rather than just like an idea of what I always think I am, or some sort of like projection as to like who I actually am, then you probably wouldn't hear me sighing a lot. You probably wouldn't hear me look so drained, or like, yeah, because like, okay, my energy is drained all the time. Like every single day, I'm like legitimately trying to just, I don't know, like fuck, just get out of bed. Let's just even say, or just because I'm just rotting away. And I'm not even necessarily saying that to like self-deprecate, but I'm just gonna fucking die. So I'm just like, all of this is fake and it's like an illusion. And I don't know, I see everything and everything else just looks like a fucking hollow house of cards. But maybe to people like, oh, my life experience, it is important. It does matter to me. I'm just like, I don't feel that way. I feel like I just live on nothing other than pure survival instinct. And yeah, sure, everybody does, but it's just like, how does anyone feel anything personal to like what they actually do? It's like I have such a difficult time feeling most emotions, or even when I'm happy, it still feels like it's stunted. It still feels like it was something I forced myself to have, rather than something that like comes genuinely. At least like the feeling from within, because then like the emptiness takes over and you just go back to like, I don't know, if I don't feel super fucking pissed off, then there's just like a whole lot of indifference. There's just like a whole lot of like apathy, coming into play. And yeah. This shit's fucking stupid. I mean, yeah, if you want to say it's stupid, if you want to say like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. But you know what? I think you are too. You're stupid. I'm stupid. I'm just like, it's just like humanity itself is such a big joke. And okay, I must have spent like a good chunk of this video just going off on like a pessimistic tangent. I don't even know if that like built up the narrative as to like, well, I mean, I guess so. Well, I mean, like, cause like I wanted to illustrate, I guess, more of like, you know, the dynamics of people dealing with narcissists, or like, oh, why do they seem like they flip out over the most like small things? But I'm just like, well, I guess, you know, like to answer that question, I think it's because like, what is small? I always think that like maybe, oh, if I caught a feeling, maybe this is finally real now. I found myself for like who I am, but like in actuality, all of this anger essentially just came from not actually knowing who I am in a way, or like in my relation to the social dynamics and psychology at play every single time I'm talking to a person or like dealing with them. So like in a way, even my anger doesn't feel genuine. Like I don't know if anyone else knows what I'm talking about. Maybe any of the other fucking narcissists that'll like watch this video, maybe you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's like, okay, if you can't feel a lot of emotions, but you do quite feel like not even necessarily anger. Like I just want to say frustration, because like in a way I know it would like beat the hell out of me if I wanted to show such a, you know, spectacular display of like anger. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've yelled, I might have broken stuff or like whatever and like all that stuff, but it's like, dude, I am so frustrated. Like sighs are essentially just like what comes out of me. Like I swear, it feels like so many days, not even actual words came out of my mouth. It was like literally just sighs, because I'm just like annoyed at something. I'm just like, you know, I have to keep going forward. I have to keep dealing with people. I have to keep dealing with like life until I'm fucking dead. And the only other escape is if like I kill myself. But I mean, like, I don't feel like doing that. I don't know. I'm not sad enough to kill myself, because like I'm pretty sure, and I know after I like, you know, finish filming this, I'm just gonna go back to like probably feeling nothing, or probably, okay, I'm sure this, like, yeah, the annoyance will always come back, but it's like I'm not there, so I never know where I truly am, and none of this feels like it ever has like any genuine real structure. And I think, I don't know, when you deal with people every day and they seem like, I don't know, they're like more put together, or they're more like, oh, I'm happy to be with you, my friend, my like whatever, and I'm just like, I'm like keeping up with like appearances. Like I don't necessarily want to get rid of you as a friend, quote unquote, despite like maybe all the things that I've said about like being annoyed with like other people and stuff. But it's like, do I know I appreciate it? I don't even know. But like I do feel that when I'm annoyed by all of it, just dealing with people, having to speak, having to like, you know, I am genuinely frustrated. But it's like a frustration of just coming from like a lack of energy. So when I try to examine myself, when I try to think of myself like, okay, like where's like the root of like all this anger? Like I can't even think about it as trauma. I don't, maybe it is, I'm not a fucking expert, but I'm just like, but it's like, when I like self-reflect and I do everything that I can to just like, okay, how do I feel comfortable with my like well-being? I'm just like, I don't feel comfortable with my well-being. It's not even that I'm like the opposite of not feeling comfortable. It's like legitimately just nothing. So it's like every single time I live my life and I find something that I can perhaps enjoy, I don't know, a funny video, like a good movie, like, or like, you know, whatever. It's like it's only as good as it helps me forget that there's like nothing there. So I think when people have their like genuine connections and their genuine conversations, like I'm trying my best, because I'm just like, okay, I get it. That's how the socialization of like our species is like programmed to do. But I'm just like, but it's like, you know, like, but it's like, what good is it, you know, if like all you see is the code, but you don't get to play the game? Or it's like, kind of like how I like always put it, it's like you have to program the game while simultaneously play it yourself. So then it's like, what are you even doing? Yeah, I felt like I said a whole lot of things just described that I feel like a whole lot of nothing. And it's like, yeah, like, it works in my psychology, but I don't even know if like words can make it make sense. That it's like, oh, I don't feel anything, but it's like not feeling anything makes me feel frustrated. And when I see people in their face having a stronger sense of identity, this and this and that, and who knows, maybe they don't, but I'm just like, okay, like if you're, let's say, fortunate enough to not have something like narcissistic personality disorder, then like good for you. Like, I mean, I don't want to apologize to those people out there and be like, oh my gosh, I've been like abused by a narcissist, blah, blah, blah. Like, you people like don't deserve any pity. I'm just like, well, you know what? Like, okay, then let's just call it a draw, because it sounds like on either end, we're like both suffering. So like, okay, sure, you might have like your cases of like, oh my gosh, my narcissist ex did this, they fucking drained me, they fucking did blah, blah, blah. But I'm just like, okay, I guarantee you, even in those moments where they thought they had the upper hand, all of that was still left within. It's just was just like a nothing. So, you know, just hurt all around. And I don't actually know what to say to like make it better. I know I can't really expect anybody to like accommodate me either. I mean, well, obviously I don't even necessarily feel the need to accommodate people as well. So yeah, this life, this universe, it always feels like a battlefield. And if there is any at all such a thing for me to feel comfortable, it's just not being aware. It's just losing yourself from already being lost yourself, if I can put it to anything. Like, I don't know, like, I'm sure, like, if I examine my life enough, I can tell you enough things that are like, oh, I didn't like it when somebody did this, I didn't like it when they said this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, I'm sure, like, everybody can, but I'm just like, I feel like even without those things, it still wouldn't even make a difference, because, yeah, I still just feel, like, empty inside. Like, I can't even justify the anger or like the frustration. Like, okay, it would honestly be much easier, yes, if I were hypothetically just projecting from like a certain moment, or like, because like, you know, when people are like, oh, who hurt you in order to like be this way? But like, all I have to say is, okay, maybe, I don't know, that might have like contributed, let's just say, but I feel like I've lived my entire life just essentially like not being anybody. And like, when I look back at myself as like, you know, a kid, and I didn't have like so much responsibilities, because, you know, you gain more responsibilities as like you get older. I didn't have to realize I was nothing, even though I already was, because I just immersed myself in like, I don't know, whatever I could, like the toys or whatever, and you know, like, yeah, how kids fucking entertain themselves, yeah, whatever. And it's like, now I know it, but it's like, even being aware of it, it's just like, okay, so what? So it's just like, I feel so apathetic, I feel so numb, but yet every single time I try, and like, I just feel, yeah, the closest thing is like, yeah, frustration, and seeing someone else having it like so much easier. It's like, I don't know, maybe subconsciously I'm thinking to myself, even though I also tell myself, why the fuck should I care about you? Like, why should I let you influence how I view myself, or how I view like the world? Like who gives a fuck about you? If like, in a way, I don't even give a fuck about myself. But it's like, I don't know, like if I'm just like grasping at straws here, or like, you know, trying to find as much of an explanation as like, you know, possible, then I'm just like, I guess I'm jealous. Because like, I would just like to, it's not even peacefully exist in my nothingness, but it's like all I know, nothing, even though that isn't anything. It's like, I would like to just exist as much as I can, like, you know, within that. So then when you come like waltzing in with like, oh, you're so proud of your life, you're so proud of your mission, you're so proud of like, I don't know, or like you're here for me, I'm just like, stop pitying me. Or like, stop bringing me to some sort of like delusional fairy tale that you're on. Like, you need to fucking like tone it down a notch. Like please stop. I'm not saying I always have to make a scene, But like, you know, genuinely speaking, like that is what goes through my mind. I don't know who this video is for. I mean, I know I said it's supposed to be seen from like the other end, but I'm just like, do I care if this helps you? Helps you understand narcissists, or like help other narcissists feel more, I don't know, like they're not like alone. Like I could say sure, but then there's probably gonna be another moment where like I don't really feel that. It'll probably just fluctuate. So yeah, we'll see depending on the situation then. If I ever have to talk about this video, or like, I don't know, people will say things about it. I don't like I'll just have more things to think about. I mean, like I guess that's fine. I'm just gonna end it there.